of the major features of this world is mist. Now, mist is a major part of our world. It comes from the volcano, which is located in the center of the continent, the single continent that is on our world. It flows across the sky in these very large rivers that look sort of like the Northern Lights. The mist can be channeled into magic-like powers, or if you inhale or consume it, it gives you the emotion that it's tainted with. And I mentioned that it's like a sponge for emotions. It soaks up emotions and stuff. And then, so at the top of the volcano, in the center, there's a gigantic cloud of mist. And it just absorbs all the energy and emotions around it. And since there's so much of this mist, it can manifest itself into conscious beings, similar to gods, and these gods are worshipped in the lands below.
While the mist is helpful, it is harmful as well. If put into direct contact with mist in its purest form, it will wipe you clean of all emotion, and you can't think at all for yourself, in a process called purification. If directly in contact with mist in its tainted form, like if you come directly into contact with an emotion, mist, then you will become, after prolonged exposure, you'll become what we like to call here a mistivore. They are large creatures that cannibalize other people and eat the mist that is inside people. And when people die, they return to mist. But if they have enough willpower, they can hold their consciousness together and come back down and possess a mindless stone, which we call serene, that has been purified. And they are called mistmores.
Crist, just as it sounds, is a substance to contrast the mist that can be found in the mountain ranges in the most northern parts of the continent. There are two forms of the element, light crist and dark crist. Light crist has the ability to contain mist, so it can be concentrated, transported, and channeled and used for its many different reasons, like the powers you was mentioning before. The mist is not stored within a hollow piece of crist, as it seems, but rather fused to become one with it until it is drawn back out for its intended purpose. Dark crist can be thought of as the anti-mist, as it repels the substance away like a magnet. The Order and other non-mist users in our world use dark crist as a sort of shield or armor to protect themselves from the mist, or people using the mist for, like, as a potential weapon against them.
Okay. So our world is one continent and one ocean. I kind of have a bottom view and a top view on the corners here. So the different territories are all color-coded, and the terrains are coded in different textures. Like down here you have the green dots that are the plains, the yellow dots up there that are that's desert, and then green lines are deciduous forests, and then up at the top, the purple lines are the temperate rainforests, and then all the way up there with the blue and purple crosses, that is the tundra. The little pink marker lines are borders between territories, and the blue lines are the rivers, and these pencil lines coming from the mountain are the main mist rivers. The uncolored land in the north is unclaimed, uninhabited territory. It's kind of neutral territory.
Beneath the tundra, surrounded by mountains full of the dark crist, and in the seas, an older magic survives. An ancient language called Spruk creates as it is spoken, though the humans who speak it forget the words. The dark crist keeps the mist, which is full of emotion, separate from this language, which is more of a reason-based thing. But the mountains can't keep everything out.
In an indentation on the coast, there's the Krust Brores, the only land groups to use the language of Stroke instead of the mist. They were initially spoken into existence by the Stromdrugs, intelligent sea monsters with full mastery of Stroke. Their civilization greatly involves them, leaving the Brores with a bit of a superiority complex. They get along with the mystics and order enough, however. They view common language to be somewhat dirty due to their near sacrosanct view of Stroke, and communicate mostly via telepathy.
It's the king. The high monks reside on Mount Serenity, above the clouds and deep in the shadows of the mist where they serenity, a process which includes channeling the pure mist of the mountain. Monks that do not meet the standards of the high monk hierarchy are sent into the cities of the Confederacy to teach the state religion. All monks are trained in the arts of magic and the martial art they develop to combat the Dark Crest Knights of the Order of the Four.
The Confederacy is made up of 5 loosely allied countries in the West Coast country. It is preached to by the monks, policed by knights, raided by mist walkers and mystivores, and terrorized by the Hungan. Its people are quaint and pastoral, and are capable of using the mist to some small degree to defend themselves.
In the eastern flanks, the Dey pharmacy rules squalid urban areas through force, fear, and family organization. The 6 cities constantly compete for resources and advantages over each other. In this area, due to the massive concentrated population, the mist is tainted to a far greater degree. The mist lords harvest and refine the mist to a usable state for their use in subjugating the population. They use charged Christ and various magical devices as opposed to the direct channeling of the Confederacy.
The Order of Four is a group of warriors who serve as a police force. They ride Pegasi and separate themselves from the mist by using large quantities of dark Christ. The Order was formed by 4 begrudged mistwalkers, although the majority of its members are ignorant of this fact. New initiates are forced to embark on a cross-continent journey to prove their worth. They also must drink a strengthening potion that may or may not cause insanity. In the deltas surrounding its castle, the Order defends against an abundance of mystivores alongside other deadly creatures. The Order also breeds animals for its own purposes. For instance, there's a tree, when sung to, that grows baby goats instead of fruit.
So, Hundan, or Hordes as they are known by everyone else, they live in the desert, so they have to raid and steal to survive as they have nothing of value. They use neither mist nor language magic, as they're a warrior cult kind of society. They will take anything that looks useful or appears to have any value, even though they don't trade it, they just use it. They have poor relationships with most other countries. Okay.
The Mystics are a nomadic people, very similar to Earth's gypsy culture. They travel the world in caravans pulled by winged cheetahs, and can go to almost every nation, including the normally solitary Kusbures. Amongst themselves, men and women are considered equals, and gender roles become neutral. Their income comes from telling fortunes and selling crafts made with mist, and the mild exposure from it causes them to be eccentric and gives them psychic abilities. They are the bridge between the people of the mist and the people of the world, believing the world to be on the back of a giant whale.